I'd like to welcome everybody to the Yukon River Valley. Today I'm just going to go through the map thoroughly. Going to cover basically everything that I can think of with the map to help out players understand how the map is set up with all the new production added to the map. It can get confusing with the triggers and where they're at. So I'm just going to do like a little walkthrough of each piece of production that's on the map and just kind of talk about how they all work together, so people can understand the map a lot better and make it easier for them. We are on a new farmer setting, so you do when you do start out, you will have a little bit of land and some equipment that you can use. No matter what setting you set to, you will get a truck and a barge with the new farmers when you get the land, and some light tractors and starter combine, things like that. Just gonna go take a look at the PDA real quick. As you can see from the other versions, the PDA is been updated. Looks a lot better. There were a lot of concerns on the PDA and it not looking very clear. I didn't really spend a whole lot of time with it before because I kind of wanted the rustic, old, antique look. So it would be hard to find your way around. I kind of wanted people to get lost. It's the Yukon, so it's part of it. That's what I wanted to do with the other PDA, but now I figure I make it a little bit brighter. It's still, you still can get lost. It's not perfect where the roads are. You know, you got to kind of zoom in to see exactly where your roads are going. But yeah, it's definitely an improvement. So what we're gonna do is let's just go over the PDA and what areas are what and what's going on here. Obviously there's a lot going on down here. This is the town where a lot of your sell points are going to be. You can just see right there the RGC Bank. That's new. That's where you're going to be selling your gold. You got some grocery. You can't see them there. That's for mostly like your root crops and things like that that you would sell at a grocery store. Lee's Bakery, kind of a sell point for your grains, things that orient with bakery. You have EGA, biogas plant, and the sales. So yeah, just pretty congested area with some sell points, other things, the animal dealer, stuff like that. You got some factories down in here in the town. This is what we call Royal Port area. This is where you're going to start in on a new career. I kind of wanted to have a setting where you had to make your way into the map like you're going into the Yukon up the river. So you start out on like an island setting. You do have a truck and a barge that you can take to the mainland. This is also where all your vehicles will spawn. This is also to kind of utilize the river to transport your vehicles and whatever you need with the barges and stuff like that. What I do in my career is I actually buy my starting equipment, put it on a barge, and bring it into the Yukon and dock at one of the docking areas where I'm starting my career. After I do that, all my vehicles I buy, I reset them after I purchase them, and this will actually reset them to the mainland, so you don't have to use the barge every time. If you want to, you can. That option will always be there. But once you reset them, they will go from this spot here to the South Port. A lot easier to, travel from this area than it is all the way here by barge. So I made that an option. Again, it's up to you if you want to reset them after you purchase them. So like I said, this is a South Port, another sell point area. Farm sales where all your grass and your silage, things like that from farms is sold. This is Spruce Mountain. You got a sawmill up there. Just kind of go over the PDA a little bit here. This is a lime pit area here, limestone pit. Highland, you got your dirt processing plant up here, concrete area here. You got another sawmill, another limestone pit. You got your coal mine. This is a little tunnel that goes through. There's not much coal in the tunnel. I have it set up that way now so you can actually clear it pretty quickly and use it for transportation if you want. Starts here, kind of goes through there. New with 2.4 is stream sluices. You'll see them along some streams. Those are hand sluices that you can fill pay dirt that's from the streams with shovels, or you can use mini excavators, whatever you want to take your pay dirt out of the brooks and the stream and place them in a sluice. Drill sites, everything is marked on the map. These are new remote drill sites. They're not connected to a pipeline, so you're gonna have to get to them by clearing trees, and they're kind of out in the wilderness, so you're gonna have to get to it and get them going. That's new for 2.4, but they're not kept to drill sites, so all your crude will be produced at the drill sites. We'll go over that more once we get to that point. The North Port, same thing as these other dirt processing areas. They're all going to have concrete, cement, limestone processor all in the area, so you can produce your concrete. That's kind of new with 2.4 as well. Before you only do concrete in one spot, so every dirt processing plant you can also produce concrete at it. This is a quick a new oil refinery that can produce diesel and kerosene here. This is on the mainland. You can bring a tanker there, drive it there up by land to fuel that, or you can do a cruise or carrier ship for crude and fill it up that way as well. North Pit dirt area for your processing plant. Another sawmill, the Lee farm area. With 2.4, there's going to be no buildings on the map that spawn in like before. I decided to get rid of that, so you have the chance to build your own farms and expand the way that you want to. That being said, you're not going to have that extra money that you can use this when you sell off all your buildings, but I figured this is a better way. Gives you a more like you coming in with nothing feel to the Yukon, and you're trying to make it to be rich. This is all the gold claim areas. You're gonna have, they're all set up basically the same now, so each claim that you buy will have all the same tools as each. They will have a wash plant, a gold processing room, and a smelter, so you can produce everything right on site. Dirt ridge, another area for your dirt to get to this dirt processing area. Like I said, does the whole thing with the concrete, and all these also have steel production as well, so you can produce steel at all 3 locations. Now woodwork sales is down here. This is basically a lumber yard. You can sell your logs down here. You can run a sawmill, and there's a silo here for storage. There's a sell point. Woodworks there. Misty Meadow Farms is a larger scale farm. Doesn't look very big to the PDA, but believe me, these are huge fields that you can start out with. Not crazy price. You talk about 1 million, so you should be able to get to that relatively quickly. So yeah, that's a PDA. Pretty straightforward. A lot of hot spots, so you can travel around the map pretty quickly. Sandbar alley. Gonna go over that real quick. There's just a small sandbar here that's underneath the water. It's set there to give people a challenge if they want to try to remove sand out of the river. It's not going to affect your travel. You can still travel through here. On the other versions, it was like a wall that you hit. I decided to make it a little bit different. It's a little bit lower. It's harder to get to, but it's fun if you want to do a little challenge and try to get the sand out of the river. Alright, let's just start with people's favorite here. Let's go up to the gold claim area here. So this is the wash plant set up here. We're going to just talk about it. We're not going to actually get things running just for time reasons. But your pay dirt, you're going to move it here. You're going to put it into this hopper. I have it elevated for realisticness in the real world. They always load it at an elevated state, just because if you use a dump truck and you dump it all in there at once, it will overload your conveyor system, clog it up, break your belts and whatnot. So there's always a maximum amount of pay dirt that you can load a plant in order for it to function correctly. And each plant in real life varies for yardage, how much you can run through it. I think in the Gold Rush, the show, I think they run in 200 yards through some of them, and I think Lucifer is the mega one that can run up to like 400 yards or something crazy like that. So that's why we have it set to hold a minimum amount of 400 liters in this hopper here, just so that people can't just dump a million liters in here all at once and walk away. I want people to stay on the wash plants like they do in real life. You need to continuously load it at a rate, pick up your tailings, and just manage your wash plant. I have seen people set up automated systems with conveyors and auger wagons and all kinds of cool stuff, but if that's something you want to do, that's fine. Whatever you come up with, feel free to do that. So yeah, your pay dirt goes into here, water. You have to back your trailer up into this area here for your water. Your diesel is going to go right in front of the generator. So basically, to make things more understandable with the map, wherever you see a display, typically the trigger is going to be in front of that display. Rule of thumb. This is your tailings display. Your tailings are going to obviously just come over here. It's just to separate these two displays from your tailings and your concentrate. So your concentrate pallets are going to spawn out front of these concrete barriers. The only thing about, you're going to have to manually spawn it. So what you're going to have to do is go into this trigger, which is going to be located right here. You don't see it right now because I don't own the land. So we're just going to buy all the land right now. So you can see the trigger pops up right here. You hit R and that will bring up all your inputs and your outputs for what runs this wash plant. When you want to spawn in your pallets of concentrate, you click on this here, do your maximum amount of pallets that you can spawn, or you can do one at a time. This is good because if you have, let's say, 300,000 liters of concentrate and you don't want to load them all in at once, so you can choose how many pallets. You're not going to have pallets laying around where you can lose them or get in the way. There is a maximum amount that you can spawn in the area. But yeah, that's a good feature just to help out with performance on the map as well. You're not going to overwhelm it with pallets being randomly spawned in. So keep that in mind. You're going to have to manually spawn in pretty much every pallet that's in the map now. So that's the wash plant. Again, you got 4 different wash plants. Not different, but 4 wash plants in the gold area now. We're going to kind of briefly go over the other areas, but for now, this site here, you're going to have a tailings processor now that you can run your tailings through. Just bring them over, throw your tailings in there, and you'll get gravel that you can get out of this here. So I had a lot of questions and concerns about what is it to do with tailings. There's nothing to do with tailings. All you can do is sell them off. I know in real life they just push them out of the way and move on, but that would cause a lot of issues with the map if you had a million liters of tailings laying around everywhere. So I got you an ability to turn them into gravel. Gravel's worth a little bit more and also can be used in your concrete production, so gives you a little bit more of a use there. So moving down here to your gold room, this is where you bring your concentrate. So yeah, you just grab your pallets, bring them down and just drive into this building, and your pallets will be consumed as soon as you go through the doors here. You're also going to need your water and your diesel to run this as well out back here, right in front of them. The trigger's going to be right in front of these displays, and this is going to produce gold pans. Same deal as before, you're going to have to spawn them in. So you walk up to this desk, is where your interface will be. You hit R, brings it up, click on the gold, hit your maximum, or you add whichever one you want, and spawn in your gold pans. Your gold pans are going to be located on the desk, and this desk here, this workbench. Okay, you only spawn in 2 at a time. Just keep that in mind there, that if you have 100,000 liters, you're only going to get 2 of them to come out, and there are 5,000 liters per pan, so that's 10,000 liters that you'll spawn out. I have worked with the gold pans a little bit to help with them falling through the map, but they still can, so just be extra careful when you're handling the pans. They can drop and fall through the map. They are small. I think it's because the 16 times map is a little bit more spread out. The collisions with the ground are a lot less. But I did do some work with it. It seems to be a little bit harder to lose them, but you still can. So just be careful with your gold pans. Your gold pans, then they have the gold flakes in them, so now you got to bring them to a smelter, and your smelting room is now on site here as well. You bring your gold pans, just walk in 2 doors here, and they'll instantly be consumed and start the smelting process. You don't need anything else, just the gold pans in here. Same thing as before, your interface is right here. It's your gold input, gold bar is where you spawn out your actual gold bar pallets. Those are 10,000 liters each. But yeah, that's the basics of the wash plant and the gold claim setups. Again, there's 4 of them. We'll fly over all 4 of them. There is 1 different setup for a wash plant. And out there's a little ramp if you wanted to bring your tailings or your gravel and load it to a train. You can back up the ramp and actually tip your truck or whatever, your trailer, whatever you have, right into a train. So when you head up to this wash plant, this is set up a little bit differently. I call this the redneck wash plant. Basically parts all thrown together. Everything's basically the same. Your diesel's going to be there. Your tailings are going to spawn out there. Your water triggers right there. And your dirt here. You can actually just back a truck up onto this one if you would like. So this one probably going to get used a lot more, but your concentrate will spawn down here once you spawn it in manually. Okay, I'm not going to go over it all in detail. If you can't find the actual trigger for the interface, like I just found right here, what you can do is hit Control G. So if you wait here, hit Control G, this will actually bring up everything that you own on the map for your factories. So once you purchase the land, anything on that land that has a production, you will own it, and it will show up in this global company interface. So we're looking for the wash plant that's down here. You can see a blue dot when you click on it. So let's click on that. That's dirt process plant. That's dirt wash plant. So I think I grabbed it right there. I grabbed it in the first one. You can open the overview menu. It has an image of it. It has a description of what it is. You actually can select the camera. Actually see if you're in the right location, which is kind of neat. Click on that. That'll bring you into the same exact interface as it is when you manually walk up to it. So yeah, you can control things from anywhere by hitting Control G. And just a quick little tip too, when you're trying to place placeables, go into the options and you activate extended placeable. That allows you to place basically anywhere you want your placeables in the map. So another quick tip there for you. So yeah, this is a little bit different wash plant setup here. We're just gonna fly up right up over the other ones. I'm not gonna go over them, but just to give you a little overview of the gold cuts here. A lot of pay dirt. It's over 1 billion liters of pay, so don't expect you to run out even on multiplayer servers. We've run for a month and weren't even able to clear a full pit. So this is how this wash plant area is set up. Your gold smelter and gold room are right next to each other. Very convenient there. Wash plant, all pretty straightforward. Tailings processor, pay dirt right out in front of you. This is probably the most convenient setup there is. And this is basically the same as the other one. Two sheds right next to each other. Tailings, wash plant, and your pay is right there. So yeah, that is the gold wash plants. Now that we're on the talk of gold, we are gonna head to check out the new pay dirt areas and new stream sluices that are on the map. Let's just go visit this one here. This is typically what I recommend for players to start out. This land right here, it's relatively cheap, 55,000. You buy it, got some wood and trees on the map, and you have this sluice that you can start producing gold right from the start. So here's your little sluice that runs with the water running from the brook on the stream. You can use a shovel. There's a shovel mod. Let's see if I can do this here. Might be able to show you real quick. Alright, just gonna slow myself down while I do this. I don't have my hands viewing either, but just to give you a quick idea, you hit your middle mouse button if you're using a mouse to kind of angle it the way that you want, spin it around. You just kind of dip it into the dirt like this, fill it up, bring it over to your sluice, tip it up over it, and there you go. You're producing gold. So these sluice boxes are right straight from pay dirt to gold pans. So you're skipping the whole concentrate process. And you're getting a little bit higher percentage for your gold running your pay dirt through here. This is kind of realistic, I guess, to real life when you're running dirt out of your brooks and streams versus the huge pay cut areas. Now it's a little bit more high density of gold. So yeah, these don't hold a whole lot though. I think 20,000 liters is the max you can put in here, and I think this is still pretty high, but just keep that in mind. You can't. It's going to be hard for you to bring a big truck in here and dump it all in there at once. But yeah, you produce your gold pans, and you then can bring your gold pans to a smelter. There are placeable smelters now, so you can place your own smelter, gold smelter. They're relatively cheap. So just to give you guys a little idea of how this works. You got your smelter. Your interface is right out in front. Let's just max that out a few times. Speed up time so we can get a gold pan. So 5,000 liters will get you a gold pan. Got to manually spawn it. There she is. Again, be careful when you're transporting. I like to transport it flat in case it does drop. But just bring it up to your smelter and she starts smelting. That's basically it. Just like that. You made gold bars. You need 10,000 liters though, because we need like 3 gold pans to make a pallet of gold bars. Alright, so yeah, this is I guess I had a good recommendation where to start out. You got plenty of trees if you want to start getting some wood chips or cutting trees down, and you can start making gold by running it through a sluice. There are a few more on here. There's some in the highland. You get 1, 2 up here on this piece of property. A different property though. Different pieces of property, I believe. And you have 1 right here. So now we're gonna head to the new pay dirt areas that are on the north side of the map. I had a lot of concerns or a lot of questions asking if I could add in a way to run pay dirt over here. So basically this is set up for you to kind of, you're gonna have to cut your way into these areas. They're kind of hidden, so you probably wouldn't even notice them if I didn't tell you where they were. They're pretty well hidden. So basically it's gonna follow the ridge of the highlands. It's set up sort of realistic in real life, where your gold would kind of like to, you know, meet in at the merging points of the ridges, if that makes any sense. But so right here you would have to start cutting your way in to get to this pay dirt and make a road through the trees to get up in here. Then you would have to set up your own wash plant, set up your own gold room, your smelter, and everything. So this is basically made for you to manually make your own wash plant area. Probably set up out here where it's flat ground. You can purchase all of the wash plants. Now you get 2 wash plants you can choose from. You got the trauma wash plant, and you got your redneck wash plant, basically your gold processing room, and your smelter. So whichever one you choose to use is up to you. This wash plant is a little bit more than the redneck one. You can hold a little bit more material in there, and it's slightly better output, so you're going to get a little bit more concentrate for your pay dirt. It's very minimal amount, it's like 1%. So over 10 million liters, you know, 1%, you know, you may get 1,000 more concentrate. So it's, again, it's very minimal, but maybe worth your extra $300,000 to run a Trommel versus the old redneck one. You're gonna have 5 areas that you can choose from for pay dirt up here, where you can create your own setups. Just gonna follow these ridges here. They are not located on the PDA either, done on purpose. If you don't watch this video, you may not ever know they're there, so unless you stumble across it. So that's your 3rd pay dirt area. You get some more down here on this ridge here, another one up there. Alright, so we're going to bring you over to the coal area here, where you can grab your coal, which will be used in your steel production. There are 2 different locations on the map that, you know, you can get your supply for coal. So this one area here, there's just a tunnel that runs through the highland. So once you clear the tunnel, which is very little material inside the tunnel, you'll be able to pass through. Most of the material is going to be on the outside of the tunnel. Yeah, that would go all the way through. It's quite lengthy. There's a little bit in the middle here that you can grab. But basically I just wanted it so you can grab your coal and clear this tunnel out as fast as possible and use it for transportation from back and forth. It's fun. I believe it's real fun to drive through a tunnel. It gives you that option to do that. Like I said, most of your materials are going to be located out here, which you got all kinds of coal to run that's already been stored. So basically trying to reenact that they've already grabbed most material out from your tunnel and just stockpiled it out here. Your other location for coal is going to be down on the south part of the map here, Coal Ridge. Same idea with these tunnels. This one has a lot more inside the tunnel because it's really not used for transportation, it's just used for mining. You can clear all your coal out. And this kind of goes up and down elevation. A little bit of a maze going on in here. Small little stockpile outside. You got 3 different entrances. Only for that side there. You got 1 entrance over here. It's a dead end though, just keep that in mind. This one is a dead end. But yeah, a lot of fun to be inside the tunnel there and cleaning out the coal. So go over and make straight from the coal. We're gonna just jump right into the sawmill here. So sawmill area is lumber yard. You got a sell point for most of your wood products located there. Your sawmill, and this right here is a sell point for logs. There's only 2 sell points on the map for logs. One of them is going to be at the Royal Port area that you need to use a barge to move your logs. This one here is the only one that's on land and not over water basically. You're going to need to use a loader to offload it up onto the pile for it to sell. Obviously if you're good enough at driving, you could probably drive it up on there and sell it automatically, but I tried to make it so you had to work a little bit to offload it. Your sawmills are all set up basically the same. It's gonna need logs, which you need to back down into your water. It will automatically take it off from your trailer once you reach the water area. And also wood chips for the fuel. So this is basically a boiler system that takes wood chips in order to run your steam or whatever, to run your sawmill. Outputs, wood chips are going to come out here. Barrels are going to spawn out front here. Your long boards and your split wood. You're going to have to manually spawn them like everything else. So click on your long wood and hit spawn whatever many pallets that you want. Pretty straightforward there. Triggers are easy to find on that one. Like I said, most important thing, back your logs down in there. And your wood chips go right in there to run your sawmill. Again, all sawmills are set up the same exact way. So there's really no need to go over all the sawmills. We're going to head over to the dirt processing plants. Again, almost all these are set up the same, so we're just going to go over one area. So you grab your dirt. Your dirt is different from your pay dirt. Remember that. Your dirt ridge here has dirt. I'm going to show you real quick the difference in how they look. So pay dirt has a little richer, darker look to it with a little gold flakes in it. And your dirt will have a lighter tone without the gold flakes. So pretty easy to tell the difference. Just gonna go up here and show you the dirt real quick. There you can see rich, a lot lighter, no gold flakes. So your dirt is what you're gonna use in your dirt processing plant. Plenty of dirt up here on the ridge that you can grab from for this processing plant. Each processing plant area will have its own dirt ridge or dirt north pit. And up at the Highland, they have a huge Highland pit there. I will show you that one because it is pretty scenic up there. So yeah, you grab your dirt and you get, it just takes one input, back your trailer up, and you'll see a trigger for it right here at this dirt pile. Once your dirt is offloaded, you'll start processing it into gravel, sand, and tailings. It's basically separating your dirt into those three materials on this side. If you follow the chute up through here and around and over here, this is where your ore goes. So your dirt produces 4 different materials: gravel, sand, tailings, and ore. And the ore is the only one that has a trigger like this. Basically, I'm trying to make it look like it's a special process to get your ore out of your dirt. Your ore is then can be brought into your steel factory right here. Steel factory is going to take lime dust, coal, and your ore, those 3 products there, to produce steel. So yeah, you're going to have to use a little placeable. This ramp that we use is called ramp up. If you want to back your truck up on it, I just use a wheel loader to load it into there. Again, it's the same deal as the wash plants. You don't want to overload it, your production of steel. So to make it realistic, it's an elevated hopper. So yeah, that's your dirt processing plant area and just a little bit of the steel. But I'm gonna go over the other parts of this area here real quick. You have a cement mixing little unit here, which uses gravel and sand. Just place your gravel and sand here, and you can get cement by using a train if you want, or drive your trailer underneath there. It's a little roulette style here, so face the direction the train's coming, so if you see it, you can get out of the way, or stop your train before you load it if you're using a trailer. So this hopper here is basically a silo system that's set up for the dirt processing plant. So only material used, like extra like raw materials, I put in here. So your dirt, pay dirt, you know, concentrate even can go in there, sand, gravel, tailings, basically all the materials that are added to the map. So no fruits or anything can go in this hopper here. But if you want to store what you're producing, you can just store it into the silo here. There are a couple outputs on this one for it. This middle bin here, I use my wheel loader, drive up underneath here, and I can load what I want and bring it where I need it. So it's perfect to store your ore, your lime dust in there, and bring your wheel loader up, load it up, and bring it to your steel production. So all these dirt processing plants will have a silo built into it, and you can load it by train, and you can follow this here. There's now a trigger to load up a ship and to offload a ship. So yeah, it's a pretty convenient little system there for the silo. So you produce your cement over there with sand and gravel. Your lime dust can be produced here, the limestone crusher basically. Bring your limestone, put it in this bin, and produces your lime dust. Your lime dust is used in the steel and also used in your concrete production, which is over here, lime dust. Triggers are there. These are all pretty easy to follow. Sand, gravel, this is for concrete. And I'm trying to kind of going over this all pretty quickly. Cement, which again is made just over there, can be brought in to produce your concrete. So everything is pretty efficient here. All starts out with dirt. You got to get your limestone over here, but that's the only outsource is limestone and your dirt, and you can pretty much make everything for concrete and for steel besides the coal. Coal, you need to grab that from your mines, coal mines. But so yeah, that's basically going over your whole dirt processing plant areas: concrete, cement, limestone. A lot going on here, but it's all works together, and it's a lot of fun to do. So going from here, we're going to go talk about the oil production on the map, just because we covered the steel and concrete. So in order to run your drill sites, those are the two basically maintenance products that you need to bring to your drill sites besides the fuel to run your pumps. So you need diesel to run your fuel pumps, and you need concrete and steel to run your drill sites. So the first drill sites we're going to go check out are the ones that are built into the pipeline. So this one here, built right into the pipeline, so all your product that you're producing is going to run through your pipelines to a storage area for crude. But to go over triggers, you bring your steel, place it right, drive right in between here out in front of the steel planks, and all your steel will be taken off from your trailer. Diesel, park in front of the tank. Your diesel will be, trigger should pop up there, and for concrete, your triggers will be right there. Basically, your steel is for maintaining your derrick, and concrete is for pouring your forms, your pumps, just maintenance basically. They don't take a whole lot to run the crude once it's there. You're gonna get a hell of a lot more crude versus what you have into the plant basically. So that being said, that's basics on the drill sites, how to run it. People were having issues with the triggers with the steel, but it should be working good now. Just make sure you're out in front of the steel planks there. Trigger should take your steel right off of your trailer. But if you follow this pipeline, it's going to lead to the town. No matter which direction you go, you will eventually get to the town. And that's where we're going to go now, to show you where the crude is produced, because you cannot get the crude from your drill site. So you can see the pipeline runs here, then breaks off, and comes into the storage facility here, into these storage tanks inside this building. And out behind it, you'll see these displays, and each drill site will have its own output here, which you can load up with a tanker on land here, or with the carrier ship out front here. These triggers, they're hard to get a hold of sometimes. If you have 0 in this one and you're trying to get into that one, and if you drive in through this trigger and think that you're going to get that one, sometimes it will load this trigger and say there's nothing there. So try to position your boat so it's only grabbing this one trigger. It can be tricky, but they all work. They've been tested quite a lot to get it the best that we can. I'm using the same trigger for the land and for the water, so it's set at an angle. In order to do that, it was pretty tricky, so keep that in mind. You can use a tanker with a truck on land or your carrier ship. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different drill sites that utilize the pipeline, and all of them can go here. It's not really hard to tell which one is which while you're doing it, because you can look at your interface and see how much fuel you have. It'll display it. So if you hit Control G, like I said, you can bring up the interface and see what you got for fuel and know which one is which, basically. So once you do it, it should be easy to figure out which one is which. So yeah, so going from here, what do you do with the crude? You got to bring your crude to a refinery to refine it into kerosene, and there's also a refinery that can do kerosene and diesel. So you load it up with your ship or with your tankers, and one of the refineries is located at Royal Port area. So if you have a tanker, you're gonna have to load it up on a barge and ship it over. But if you have your carrier ship, you can just simply ship it right out in front of the refinery. So your refinery, if you have your crude in your ship, You're going to drive it up to these tanks here, get it centered, and offload it into these tanks to start the refinery process. And your kerosene is produced here, which you can grab with the tank, or with your ship you can fill up your kerosene and either go store it in the storage to be sold, or there are multiple sell points. One being for convenience is right here. It's set to the lowest price, but you can sell your kerosene pretty cheap here. Or there's a one you can do by ship, K1 port sales here. Drive your ship up in front of that one and sell it, and there's 2 K1 sales mainland there. Those are going to be your highest selling prices because it's harder to get to. Alrighty, so yeah, covering these things a little bit quicker now because we're getting up over 40 minutes into the video. There's a lot going on in this map, so I'm hoping you guys are following along as best as possible. So let's go over to the other refinery just to give you guys eyes on that. Sort of the same setup. I did kind of give it a little overhaul out front here so it's easier to see where your drop crude oil is. This is going to be for kerosene and diesel, so you can use a ship for all that. Basically the same setup, just added in the diesel tank. This refinery will do kerosene and diesel. So right now to look at these remote drill sites. So we got 1, 2, 3 drill sites, 4, 5 that run along a pipeline that's going to go to that town, and these 2 remote ones are set up so it's hard to get to. Again, I have to clear land to get in here to run these, but everything is run on site. Your crude is produced right here, and you can use your tanker trucks to ship it to your refineries, or even if you want to, you can sell it directly. You're not going to get as high of a price for crude versus kerosene, but that's up to you, your decision to make there. Same setup with the concrete, steel, and diesel. Just a little bit more remote and harder to get to. That being said, with this island, you can only get here if you're using seasons by crossing the ice. I have set up a little barge transport dock here, so you can dock here and dock there, go across the waterway there. You can see there's a road that leads into the water. If you try driving across, you will submerge your vehicles. I have set up where you could do a land bridge if you wanted to. So if you want to dump in your sand or tailings or whatever you want, you can make a land bridge. That is up to you. I do know there's placeable bridges. I'm not sure if they'll work in here, but yeah, it's gonna be kind of tricky to get across here, but it is set up so you can get in here. All the bridges have been raised up so you can drive your barges into this area, loaded up equipment. I was going to show you these bridges here are higher now. So yeah. Give you guys a view of that. So this bridge has been raised, and getting into Mineral Lake has been raised. I've been added a train silo here that's you're able to load your ship up as well. So now you can bring your ship in here. Whatever's in this silo can be loaded into that. So just going over these real quick. This is basically a hub for your trains. You can switch product from one to the other. Try one train up here, offload it into this trigger here, goes into your silo. Then you can drive the other train up and then unload it to the other train. Or you can, dump it in here, load it up my ship, load it up my truck. You can bring in your trailers and and dump your product in here as well and load it onto your train or your ship. Quite the all-in-one silo here with all your triggers. There's one located here, this one over here as well, same idea. Two different spots to offload your trains or unload them. You drive your trailer in there, you load up your trailer there, and you got your silo set up for your boat, your ship there. At your Southport sales is also a silo set up for a ship. You can offload into your ship there or offload it into the mill. You can store your kerosene, diesel in there. So plenty of storage options and whatnot. You can't store kerosene in those ones over there. This is basically the only place you can store your kerosene at. I think I might have added it actually up to the Northport as well. I'll double check on that one, but yeah, just going over the Southport a little bit. One of your lime production, so you can produce lime to spread on your fields, is right here. You bring your limestone or your lime dust. You get your lime dust here, and it turns it into lime. So lime dust goes in there. So you got to do two processes. You got to crush your limestone into lime dust, and then bring it to this location, so you can kind of be self-efficient on producing your own lime for your fields and whatnot. Yeah, also there's another little silo. This is connected to that silo over there, so you can use a train to offload as well. A sell point here, Southport sales. Your farm sales is here. A little place here to dock and load your equipment. Your reset of your vehicles will spawn right in this area. And this is set up here so you can actually load in logs into your log barge. So the log barge can be purchased in the store. Drive your log barge up underneath these rollers. You can load your logs into them, into your log barge, and be shipped off to the Royal Port. Log sales here. So you drive up in between these two buoys with your log ship, and then sell your logs by using that. Again, I know there's a lot going on here, guys. I hope you're following along. It's going to be a long video, but definitely all you need to know about the map once if you watch the whole thing. So yeah, just continuing down here. This is also a sell point for your ship that you can bring up here and sell at the Royal. Let's get the right name here. Royal Sales. Royal Port Sales. You can bring your ship right up front of these two buoys and sell there, or you can sell inside here. Gonna go over another sell point that's on this port, Royal Port area, is a new Royal Bank. So only your gold bars and your gold flakes can be sold here at the Royal Bank. And also there's going to be a RGC bank located in the town, which you're going to go to right now. So yeah, bring your gold bars, gold flakes if you want to sell them. You're not going to get a lot of money out of your flakes, but RGC bank is located here in town. John Deere dealership. You can do maintenance on your equipment. You can sell them from here too, I believe. Maintain them, repair, whatever you need to do. The John Deere dealership. You got your gas station, one located here. There's a sell point for grocery products behind Dark's Grocery. Right here, get it back your trailer out like in real life. To sell here, you're going to get a really good price here for certain products, mostly grocery style products like corn, potatoes, beets, stuff like that there. Moving along, we got another lime producing station here, so your lime dust produce your lime to spread on your fields. Located at this little train station. This is a little port train sales here. You can sell it, either sell it on that or sell it by train underneath here. For sell point, animal dealership out behind here. If you want to use a be realistic and use your cattle trailer, you can do that as well. This is where Lee's Bakery is located. Known for your grain products, milk, eggs. You're gonna get a higher selling point here if you bring him up to this point. And your whiskey factory. This is the only factory that still has pallets that spawn in. So these wolves spawn in on themselves. But triggers are pretty simple. Water. Over there, your wheat and barley go onto this. And right in front of this display is where your pallets of barrel pallet will go that you produce from your sawmill. Alright, moving on. Again, I'm going over this a lot quicker than before. Gonna go just fly over the BGA. Another gas station here. Also, your K1 sales will be behind here if you want to sell your kerosene on land. Same thing at the other gas station. Right out beside it there, you see a special trigger where you actually can sell your kerosene or diesel. This is a BGA plant, basically the same as the in-game one. Bring in your silage, to make silage or digestate, whatever. Bring in your chaff, load it in. Pretty straightforward there. You head over to the potato factory. Everything is written on displays for you. Your baked potatoes spawn there. Your french fries spawn here. This is your interface, tells you what's everything going on. So you need sorted potatoes where they produced over here. Empty pallets, cartons. So yeah, I'm just gonna go into the interface. You can see how this is set up. Each one's set up individually, so it's not too confusing for you guys. So in order to produce sorted potatoes, you need potatoes, empty pallets, and cartons. To do baked potatoes, you need potatoes, empty pallets, cartons. Same thing, potatoes, sunflower to do your french fries, empty parts and cartons. So french fries are the special one that takes sunflowers, or sunflower grain basically, to produce the french fry. And all your triggers are located where you need to go, and this one's pretty easy to figure out. Empty pallets go there, cartons go there. Get up a little bit bigger here. Sunflowers, bring that into this area. And out front here is where your potatoes go. Okay, moving on to other factories down here. A lot going on this map, but it's not overwhelming. RGC paper mill. This is all one factory here, paper. It's gonna take logs, so you can drive your log truck up in here, offload it with a crane if you like, into there. And take coal, so you bring your coal, drop it off there. your pallets, empty pallets, also, which are located on the back side there. But your cartons, paper, cardboard is what you're going to produce here. All take the same stuff here. Oh, water, paper production. I forgot about that. Nice. Oh, water for that too. Alright, there's water added in here. Totally forgot about the water until I don't run these too often. Your cartons are going to spawn there. Everything's written. A lot of your products are going to be spawned in the warehouse as well, like your paper and cardboard spawns over there. So let's see where the water trigger is. Water's out front here. Okay, that's what I was missing. Water, coal, and logs. Your pallets. It's pretty simple here. You bring your long boards over from your sawmills. Just load them in to produce your pallets. Let's find the interface here. It's just long wood pallets. Very simple. Basically, our triggers right next to each other. And those will, you need your pallets for the paper mill and for your potato factory. So, and you need your cartons from your paper to do your potatoes as well. So all these factories work together on the map. Alright, let's just take a quick look over everything here. There's a new construction site located up here. Basically, you bring your long boards, your concrete, gravel. Only three products can be sold here to run this construction site. You get a higher price basically for selling it. So yeah, you can look at your selling station here. Go up to concrete site. You can see the price difference. Your construction site's higher typically. Concrete 2000, that's a big difference there. Longwood, I'll get 2,800 there. I know Royalport is pretty high because of the location is located across the river, so it's hard to get to. But yeah, that's basically everything on the map that I'm trying to go over today. Can't think of anything else. Just gonna take a quick look up here at the Highland area. Let's just show you the nice big giant Highland pit. Plenty of dirt to run this processing plant. I really hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial or walkthrough of the map. Again, I didn't really fly over the whole thing to show you the layout too much. It's pretty straightforward. The PDA kind of explains everything, where it's at. A lot of hot spots to kind of show you the right directions. The hardest thing is finding the triggers, and hopefully I went over all of them with you guys. That being said, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll catch you on the next one.